So this video for the Metalzine channel is probably going to piss a few people off. It might make some of you laugh. Some of you may agree with us in whatever stance we take.
I don't even know if we're going to agree with us. I'm probably not going to agree with you. You're probably not going to agree with me.
Hello there. It comes out to me as being brutal, melodic.
You know, regular Slayer beat.
Are we fucking nuts tonight?
People are demons. People are evil. We create evil.
Nobody should be at a concert worshiping Satan.
Because everyone seems extreme.
What? No warning?
You know, we're people too.
Tough to be first class when you're white trash. Roach class all the way.
What?
Okay, so what is Djent?
Djent is some fucking annoying noise that you make with a one-string guitar. That's really.
Is it even music? I mean,
you got John Cage who did that song 422, which I don't know if you've heard about this, but he basically started his concert. They opened the piano and whatnot, and they didn't play a single note, and then they got off the stage, and that was a song. They basically, it was very philosophical, very abstract. Oh shit! And they called it music. So I think the abstract definition of music is very broad. So yeah, you can call anything music. You can call a fucking fire alarm music. It might not
well, to me,
sound
that's
good,
not fucking music.
But
Is Djent metal?
I would say it's more punk than metal. But that's just my opinion. I mean, looking at the kind of culture and attitude behind it, and the simplicity of it's not that complex. I mean, polyrhythms are complex. You got rhythmic complexity, and that's about it. I would say that it's more punk.
Okay, so there's some
metal.
complexity to it. I don't even think I would consider it to be punk though. I mean, there's a lot of talent in.
I think that's.
Yeah, that's thunder.
I think it's God.
Farting.
No, I think he's pissed off at you for saying that. But so why don't you think it's punk?
It just doesn't have that punk style to me.
I don't know. I mean, you look at crust like punk hardcore stuff, and that's pretty. I mean, that's actually cool stuff to listen to. But I think it kind of fits the same mold as Djent. You have all these guys that are, they have a similar style, appearance. I think lyrically they're kind of punkish. I think vocally they're pretty punkish. I think everything except their rhythmic complexity, which is a little bit complex, is pretty punkish. I mean, their actual progressions are pretty simplistic.
Well, let's do a Google search here real quick. I've searched for what you're not going to see that. What is Djent?
The Djent? Is that what it's called? How do you spell Djent?
D-J-E-N-T. How do you pronounce that? Okay, Djent is a subgenre of progressive metal named for an onomatopoeia for the distinctive high-grain, distorted, palm-muted, low-pitch guitar sound first employed by Meshuggah.
Is Meshuggah Djent?
Is Meshuggah even a fucking band? Are they music?
Yeah, they're a band. I mean, I don't know. I think they're still active, but I don't listen to Meshuggah too much.
They're a band. We'll say they're a band, but are they metal? Are they music? Yes, Meshuggah is a band, but I don't care for their music. I think that it's very droning and extremely repetitive to the point of being boring.
It's static. It's anticlimactic. I mean, I respect Meshuggah because they were the innovators of this style of music. I think that you can say that they're Djent. I think that you can say that they're not Djent. It really doesn't bother me. I think they added more into their music to where you could call them metal. They're heavier than most Djent bands that I've heard. But I respect them just because they're the innovators. They did this back in the mid '90s, about a decade or a decade and a half before all these other carbon copy bands.
Yeah, I mean, Meshuggah actually started out back in '87. So, they were doing this back in the beginnings. They're obviously doing something right because they're a hugely popular band.
I don't think that's a good testament to doing something right.
It depends on what you're going for and what you consider to be right.
Well, what I consider to be right is what I would put on the band. I wouldn't put their definition onto my opinion or from my opinion. So Justin Bieber,
a shitload of people like him. Justin Bieber, I can't fucking stand.
He could say he's doing right, but I can say he's not by my own definition of what right is. I wouldn't put their.
He's an
own,
elitist.
Mostly, but I mean, I'm fair. I'm pretty fair about bands, but when it comes to Djent, they're not prog. I would put them more in punk than metal, but they're definitely not prog.
All right, so let's see what else it says about Djent.
This is Wikipedia, so let's not.
Yeah.
This is probably a Djentist that wrote this bullshit.
Well, yeah, it was opinionated much. We've got more shit talking about fucking Meshuggah, and then you move on to everyone's favorite Djent band, Periphery.
Ooh, Misha.
Yeah, Misha Mansour. I haven't listened to Periphery very much, man. I dig their music some, but
Dude, that hurts.
the vocals kill it for me.
I don't even know what their vocals sound like, but I've listened to some of their new stuff, some of their old stuff. I think they're working on their 4th album, but they started in like 2007 or 2008. They're in a way they're kind of innovators, and
We have a friend that's going to want to choke us over this. You know that, right?
They kind of took what Meshuggah did and added some kind of poppy and punk aspects to it, I think. But
More poppy than anything, I think. They started in 2005.
Okay.
So.
And then you have like Vila Maya, what's some other Djent bands? Born of Osiris.
Now, see, I actually like some of Born of Osiris' material.
Is that their early stuff? Because Born of Osiris started as deathcore.
No, it's more recent stuff that I actually like.
I don't know. I haven't listened to anything new from Born of Osiris probably since 2012, which I dug their. I don't know if this is gonna get us.
I hope this doesn't get the video taken down. Just having a little bit of background noise here, which is what I consider most of this music to be, is background noise.
But Born of Osiris, I like some of their early stuff. It kind of reminds me of. Who is this?
That is Periphery. This is one of the few Periphery songs I actually like.
Sounds more like hardcore punk. Yeah. I mean, this is basically metalcore, take away the metal. That's bullshit.
Clean vocals I don't care for. But I do like this song more than a lot of their others.
Clean vocals might be the best part of it, and it's still not
Really?
that good.
See, there's another band. I might like Djent more than or Djent flavored bands more than I thought.
I'm not gonna cross that line.
One band that I think probably falls into that category is Within the Ruins. I actually like those guys quite a bit.
Oh, I think I saw them live in Seattle. But that was a while back. I have no idea what they sound like.
Well, we can fix that. Yeah, we're really not just gonna sit here and listen to a bunch of bands, but a few little short clips from a couple different ones.
That's the Djent definition, right? That noise.
Yeah, that's the definition of Djent.
I mean, is Djent a genre? We could start with.
Okay. Is Djent a genre? Or is it just an aspect of music that some musicians choose to incorporate?
All right, so Djent, the definition of Djent is making a certain noise, kind of a palm muted noise, kind of slapback thing with the low end string. Yep. So would you say that's a genre based on the definition of that noise?
I'm going to say that Djent is not a genre. Djent is not. Djent is not metal. Djent is not music.
I'm gonna
say
Djent is
a sound.
I'm gonna say that Djent is a genre. And Djent is music. Djent is not metal. Djent is not prog. Why would you say it's not a genre?
Because you can use that sound across any genre of music.
Okay, so my counter argument would be speed metal. Speed metal is a genre. You can use speed inside of jazz, classical music, death metal, black metal, thrash metal.
So then it would have to be called djent metal, or is that it?
It's not metal though.
But what if it was incorporated into metal?
It could.
If it's a sound characteristic.
So why would it have to be incorporated into metal?
It doesn't have to be, but it could be.
Yeah, but why would you want to do that? That would ruin that aspect of metal. It'd be awful.
Well, see, I don't think that it's awful necessarily. I mean, I think that it's awful to try and treat that as its own genre and do nothing but that.
See, I could understand that, but what's a word that's worse than awful? And then we can go
wretched.
Yeah, that's wretched. So you don't think it's awful? I don't think it's awful. It's wretched.
It's like the worst thing you can think of. Why do you hate that sound so much?
It's just it reminds me of metalcore, but with worse music. When that came out, you had all these bands that sounded the same. They're using the same techniques, the same and kind of the same pickups, the same producers. The bigger ones were the same tones.
Over here, buddy.
You have all these Djent bands that use sample drums. A lot of them have similar sounding vocals. It's very boring to me, and I don't think we should. I guess there's some bands that are trying to expand on the genre, but most of the bands, they sound pretty similar to one another.
I think a lot of them do, yeah.
And I don't think that's healthy. I mean, we have this thing, these bands that have this package where you keep rehashing the same stuff,
or keep repackaging the same material to
exactly
try and sell it as something different. There are some bands, in my opinion, that can pull off incorporating the Djent sound into their music, and they do it well. Within the Ruins is one of those bands that does it well. Born of Osiris, I do like a lot of their material.
I don't know what their new stuff sounds like.
It's not necessarily something that I would listen to all the time, but I prefer more thrash, and I don't think that thrash is something that you could really incorporate Djent into very well. But I mean, this is something that we could explore. We could maybe get Mike to start throwing some Djent into a thrash song. We might do a cover or something.
If I get enough people asking for that, I'll do it. But otherwise, I don't.
I kind of want to see this happen now.
I mean, I don't know.
It'd be like me rapping.
I'm gonna rap with a growl.
Yeah,
growling and rap. I mean, you could do maybe some Rage stuff, or I don't know.
No thanks. I fucking hate that band.
What, Rage?
Yes, I fucking hate them, dude.
Yeah, I think they're alright.
I fucking hate them. But that's a completely different conversation. Maybe we could put Djent in to some Rage Against the Machine songs.
I feel bad for Rage then.
Well, good. I mean, that would be
all right.
That would be great.
So what else can we talk about Djent? Is there anything else? I mean,
talk shit about it more. I don't know. Seems he hates it. I don't really hate it.
Is it prog?
Is it prog? I think that if you define it as a specific sound to be made with a guitar, then
Assuming that it's a genre, would it be prog?
I think that it could be an aspect of prog.
Like a subgenre of prog? Like
Yeah.
progressive rock analogous to that?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think there's so many contradictions. Like I said, it's anticlimactic, it's linear, it's static, it's and not innovative at all.
Well, I mean, like making an
contradicts
entire
prog.
song that's nothing but that sound is, of course, going to be static and
That
and
kind of
boring.
contradicts
But
the prog, in my opinion. I think that kind of goes against what prog is. You look at bands like Obscura and Cynic.
see, I don't know if I would necessarily consider them to be just prog. I mean,
Well, progressive death metal. But
yeah,
they're
you get into
definitely a prog
the
band.
blending of multiple genres, and
But I mean, they don't do things that contradict being a prog band. In my opinion, all
Okay.
these, or I'd say most of these Djent bands actually do contradict what it means to be prog. And it's
no,
not
not
metal.
at all. At least I don't. I don't think of.
Well, I mean, there's some. Djent has become such a popular genre that it's hard for me not to be forced to think of progressive metal being Djent.
Why has it become such a popular genre?
I mean, it's the simplicity. People. I think there's the culture behind it and whatnot. I mean, it's the new metalcore, basically.
So it's going to become. It's basically turning into watered down mainstream. Is it going to be like? Do you think that it's going to turn into something like? Yeah, I love metal. My favorite band's Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah, I love death metal. I love Korn. I love Limp Bizkit.
Yes.
I mean,
Death metal kings.
I think it's something like that. I think I mean, they sell they have plenty of fans. I don't want to say sell records. So, you have the music industry focusing more on that. You have Summer Slaughter focusing on more Djent bands because that actually brings people to at least in the U.S. it actually brings people to the shows. I mean, that doesn't mean it's good. It's fucking mainlined and mainstream, but that doesn't mean it's good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't like something just because it's mainstreamed or.
Take I call it hip hop, like new country music.
Yeah, that's terrible. New country music is nothing but pop.
Luke Bryan,
Right.
Celine Diaz, or whoever else.
I mean, you know more of them than I do, so I guess you got to know what you dislike.
Anything else that we should discuss in this? Very opinionated,
No, I don't think so. man.
objectively opinionated.
If you want to talk shit with us, make sure to comment. Let us know what you think of Djent as a genre or an aspect of music, or is just Djent is a sound. It's fucking noise.
If you want us to talk about anything else like grindcore or anything else that's kind of loosely defined or may have a lot of backlash.
Grindcore would be a good one to make a video on because I fucking hate grindcore.
Okay, well, that makes one of us.
See,
I like death grind, that sort of thing. But
all right. Well, let us know what you think, guys.